In today's video, we are jumping into some brand new mods all based around SCPs, with some of them being reasonably safe to contain, whilst others being almost impossible to even get close to. So let's just jump straight into it. So it's definitely been a good while since we checked out anything SCP related. And since those videos have come out, there's actually been quite a few new SCP mods, which is what we're going to be checking out today. So we actually have quite a few to check out here. I think about 5 or 6 in total, ranging from SCPs that have like the safe rating to then getting a little bit harder to contain, which are the ones behind me right here. And then finally, we have pretty much the impossible ones to contain behind this door right here. So let me start with an absolute classic SCP that I'm pretty sure most of you are going to know at this point. And that right there is SCP-1499, aka the gas mask right there. So if we go take a closer look at this, you will see that it is literally just a classic gas mask right here. There's nothing too crazy about it, which is why it's deemed sort of like safe. And when it comes to actually finding this thing, it can pretty much spawn anywhere in the overworld. So if we go ahead and shift right click and pick this thing up, there you go right there. And then if we go ahead and right click this while we actually have it in our hand, there we go. Now I'm not sure how much of this you're going to be able to see because it is extremely dark in here. But this is pretty much what's going to happen every time you throw this thing on. As you can see, we are definitely not in the overworld anymore, as this right here is pretty much its own dimension. And as you can see, there are other things here as well. It's just full of these like abandoned towers right here. Now, I'm not sure if there's actually anything in these. This is just so eerie. Oh my God. The noise is horrible. Here we go. We've got some steps here. Let's check this one out. Yep, there's absolutely nothing in them. They are just completely like abandoned towers right here. And this SCP always creeped me out because it's just so weird that it teleports you to like another place. It's so weird. So if we go and check out some of these other guys right here that are in this dimension with us, these guys look absolutely horrifying. Now, I'm pretty sure if I was in survival right here, they will actually attack me. So if we go too close to them, these guys are actually going to start becoming violent. So it's best to actually keep your distance if you do end up coming to this dimension. And I don't think that there's anything too crazy in this dimension. I think it's more of just like a quick escape. You know, if you're being chased by something, I mean, you could just use this just to teleport to a different dimension quickly. So there is that. Just an absolute ton of different varieties of these like abandoned towers. It's so creepy. And I don't think we're meant to have clouds in here either. I think that's just the shaders I'm using, but either or, this is really, really cool. So on top of these guys that we just found, we also do have the leader as well, which is a little bit taller and also a different color right there. And these guys, again, are just going to become very aggressive if you get close to them. So if you wanted a nice little holiday away from like the overworld or the nether or anything like that, definitely check this place out. It's lovely. And then to actually escape this dimension, all we need to do is crouch and take it off right there. And then you'll be teleported right back to your spawn. So it's pretty much like a quick and easy teleport to get straight back to your spawn point. Which then brings us to another pretty safe SCP, which is the Lovecraftian locket right here, also known as SCP-427. And just like the previous SCP, this one is pretty safe when it's just, you know, hanging out by itself. You know, it's not going to blow up or anything like that, so you can just keep it as like a little decorative piece. But once again, as soon as we start messing around with this, stuff gets very real very quickly. So if we go ahead and pick this up, there you go right there. You can see the icon has actually changed to like a little open locket, and it even says open when you actually hover over it. And when you do open the locket for the first time, you will see that you get regeneration, which is where you could be thinking, okay, that's pretty good. You know, you just got instant regeneration as soon as you open it. That's not too bad. But if we keep the locket open for too long and we become a bit greedy, that's when things take a serious turn. And I think we have about 3 or 4 minutes until this thing actually like kicks off. But until then, we really can just play classic Minecraft and completely forget about it. And there we go. We got another bunch of effects. So right now we've got regeneration 2 still. We've also got saturation 2, and we've also got night vision. So you can see how this sort of tricks you into keeping it open for a long while. You know, it's pretty handy to have. So let's just go back to playing classic Minecraft again. Oh God. Oh, Stone Age. Nice. And then finally, all the perks that you get right there, you can see at the top right there. There's quite a few. So we keep our regen. We get speed 2. We get Dolphin's Grace 4, which is actually insane. We get haste 2, we get strength 2, and of course the night vision that we had before. And this is the point where you should start really thinking, yeah, maybe it's probably worth taking this thing off now, just in case. Or, you know, just keep playing Minecraft normally, you know, nothing to worry about. Oh, and there we go right there. You're starting to mutate. So this is where it gets really serious. Oh, yep. Ghostlyy turned into a flesh beast. There we go. So if we fly over to where we just were right here, this is literally what we turned into. Like, that was us. That is literally us right there. And you can start to see how deadly this thing is as it's literally killing pretty much every single thing in sight right here. And it just looks so horrific. Oh my God, that is awful. So yeah, if you're a little bit too greedy and you wanted the extra buffs, that's what you're going to turn into right there. And yeah, this field right here had quite a few animals in it, and now it's just completely bare. And it's still going on a rampage. I'm pretty sure this thing will actually never stop, so we'll just leave him do his thing. So even though those 2 SCPs right there are deemed safe, which I'm pretty sure is only due to the fact that you can literally keep them like behind glass and they'll be pretty chill. But what about if we move up to the more dangerous SCPs? Which is where SCP-906 comes into play. And as you can see, at the minute, they are literally just a bunch of worms. And it's pretty safe to assume at this point that these guys aren't actually too dangerous. But these little guys right here actually eventually turn into this thing right here, the scoring hive. Look at this thing, which if I hop into his cell right here, you can see that he is leaving behind this sort of like corrosive material right here. Now, I don't think that this actually destroys blocks, but it still looks really, really gross nonetheless. And the more that we actually damage this guy, the more worms that start popping up, as this guy is literally made entirely out of these guys right here. Like, they are so, ooh. Like, this is definitely one of the more grosser SCPs right here. It looks so grim. Let's see if anything happens. I don't think these guys actually care about villagers, so it might have to be me. Yep, he does not care about those guys at all. Okay, survival mode. Let's have a look here. Okay. Oh, yeah, so we're already taking damage. We've actually got a potion effect right here. Let me quickly go into creative to see that. That is corrosion. So we did have the corrosion effect. And as you can see, if we go back in survival mode right here, like this guy is just so damaging. Like, look how quickly he like destroyed the health. And he's even throwing worms at me. There's just worms everywhere. I'm not sure if you can actually break the glass here or not. I'm kind of curious, but it doesn't look like he can. So there you go. If you wanted to contain this SCP, a simple glass wall will do your wonders. What about if I just break this though? Oh, the worm. Uh-oh. Yeah, and the worms themselves do damage. Okay, nice. And he's throwing more worms at me. Okay, yeah. We're gonna close that back up. Oh, he's spitting. That is so gross. Okay, let's just close that up and never come back here again. But that was SCP-906 right there. And I think if you do enough damage to that SCP, it can actually just like jump into like a pile of worms and basically escape the danger and then, you know, group up with his other worm friends whenever he wants to. So you're never really going to officially kill this thing. It's always going to be there. And going back to the classification system, since this one was orange, this one is pretty much Euclid. And then this one over here is our first Keta, or Keta, depending on how you say it. And you can probably see them flying around in there. But this is SCP-149, also known as the bloodflies right here. And these guys, I'm not sure if you can hear them or not, but they sound absolutely horrific. Like, these models remind me a lot of the that spider mod that I checked out a while back. Like, they are so detailed. And just like the mask, these guys can pretty much spawn anywhere in the overworld. They'll actually sort of like reconvene in little groups like this and target villagers or players in particular. As from reading files on these guys, it does seem that this is almost like a mini infection. So if I was just to classically place one of those villagers right there you go. You can start to see that it does not take long for these guys to get infected. And yeah, that villager is definitely hit with something. And you can see that when these guys do actually start attacking, they do work as like a hive right here. So they all sort of swarm around the same sort of subject and they actually go for them. And it is just as gross as that worm one over there, because these guys have now started laying all their eggs everywhere. Look at that. Like, I mean, just look how many eggs there are just from like 3 villagers alone. Like, imagine a whole village of these things. And you can start to see them all sort of like transforming into the other flies right here. And yeah, you can start to see why I was saying that this is a little bit of an infection, because look how many there were at the start compared to how many there are now. I mean, this is just absolutely horrific. Like, this would just be like a whole cloud of these things flying towards you. And as you can probably imagine, if I do go into survival mode right here, they are all going to swarm towards me. We get the SCP-149A sort of like debuff right there. And yeah, like, how are you going to survive that? That is insane. I mean, just look at this. There's just more and more every single time I come in here. So you can really start to see how deadly and how quickly things can go from 0 to 100 when it comes to these SCPs. We still have one more step up, which I think, I mean, those guys are pretty bad. Yeah, the flies are pretty bad, but the SCPs that I did try and contain in here, which definitely did not work, are probably some of the most dangerous and most chaotic ones that I've ever seen. We have SCP-3000. You can probably see it right there below me. But this thing is absolutely ginormous. Oh my God, I hate that so much. If you've seen any of my other like videos about like water creatures or like deep water or anything like that, like, this is not fun. And as you can see, it's found sort of like a little home in this cave right here. I can't even get like the whole thing. Like, look how far his tail goes. Like, all the way down there. And this thing here would honestly give like that bloop creature a run for its money. This thing is just ridiculous. And as you can imagine, based on the scale of it as well, it's pretty much impossible to kill. So there's not really any point in trying. It's just a case of trying to escape every time you bump into this thing, because it's not going to be a fun outcome. And you can probably see why now I couldn't fit it down in the facility, because this thing is just insane. So, well, you know, just leave those guys there to enjoy their little swim. But yeah, that's enough from me on that one. So after that monstrosity lurking in the deep water right there, we also have another SCP which is pretty much impossible to contain. And that is SCP-001. Now, you might not be able to see it too well yet, but there are actually fire particles everywhere that this guy actually spawns. It's like a mini structure. But as we get closer, there we go right there. This right here is the Gate Guardian. And just look at this thing. It looks so sick. And it's even got like its own sound and everything like that. And as you can imagine, this guy right here is protecting the Aether portal right there, which is so cool. So if we go in survival mode here and you actually end up coming across this guy, there you go. You get text on the screen right there saying you are not welcome. You know, you're going to have to be pretty brave to just ignore those messages, considering it's coming from this dude right here. But if we just keep going a little bit closer, the closer that we get right here, there you go. You shall not pass. Oh, And yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to get close to this dude. Pretty sure whatever angle you sort of try and attack from, yeah, he's never going to let you be able to get near that portal. But overall, the model and everything for this guy just looks so sick. Like, and compared to the other ones, like, you can start to see how this is just impossible to like keep down in like a bunker or anything like that. I mean, you can't even get near the dude without him just like one tapping you. So yeah, if you do come across this guy, probably best to avoid it. But unfortunately, the portal right here isn't actually an Aether portal. It's just for decoration, so you can't actually go to the Aether or anything like that. So going from like a gas mask to like a locket to then some worms and stuff to then this thing, I mean, like I said before, it really does go from 0 to 100 really quickly. And the SCPs that I showed you in today's video is literally just like a handful of them. So if you'd like me to cover more of these SCP mods, do let me know, as they are really fun to check out. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing for more stuff like this. But as always, I will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.